ready, Nancy? Go ahead.
7 o'clock.
Okay now? No? Okay.
You can go ahead.
The Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, 7 p.m. work session of the Wyckoff Township Committee is now in session. Roll call, please, Nancy.
Ms. Bogdansky?
Here.
Mr. Lane?
Here.
Mr. Madigan?
Here.
Mr. Melchiong?
Here.
And Mayor Bunchta.
Here.
Good. Thank you. Open work session. I forgot to bring it. This regular work session meeting of the Wyckoff Township Committee is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the municipal clerk and has been posted on our municipal website, and a copy has been emailed to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald News, all newspapers having a general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers.
Where are we here? Okay. Everything's signed and sealed and delivered?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We'll take a motion to open the meeting for public comment for 10 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Bogdansky?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
And Mayor Bunchta.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, we are open for public comment.
Thank you. Okay, the meeting is now open for 10 minutes for public comment, 2 minutes per speaker, total 10 minutes. On any governmental issue a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the Township of Wyckoff. So the meeting is open if anyone wishes to address the Township Committee.
Once, twice. There being none, a motion to close to the public session.
Second.
Ms. Bogdansky?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
And Mayor Bunchta.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Matt, the 8 o'clock agenda. Please.
Thank you. All right. First up on resolutions, we have a resolution that we do yearly, which designates March as Developmental Disability Awareness Month. And I believe the flag is up for Women's History Month, which is the 8th resolution down on the list. Tonight we'll be introducing the municipal budget. So there's a resolution that authorizes the self-exam of our municipal budget. Also the introduction of the municipal budget, the 2025 municipal budget. There's a resolution, as you are aware, of the loss and continued loss of our printed newspapers. There's a resolution in support of publishing legal notices on official government websites. Right now, the law has been a law has been passed to allow newspapers to post them on their website and it not be considered and it be allowed. As of right now, the old law said it had to be in print. We're looking, and all the municipalities are pretty much looking to say, listen, every municipality has to designate a readily accessible page on their website where legal notices are. There's services out there that proves every governmental website as there is already, because the minute Nancy posts something on our website, I'll give you an example for a bid, I hear about it within an hour from the bid sources. So they know. So, but right now the law was created at the lobbying of the news agencies to say that online newspapers can post on their websites. Well, okay. Well, now they're not printing. You would think that these legal notices are cheaper. They're not. The prices haven't gone down. So the newspapers are still charging us to post legal ads on their website at the same charges that they were charging us when they were posting them in the newspapers that nobody read. So this is a resolution in support of legislation to allow them to just be put on municipal websites or governmental websites. We have 3 awards of contracts, 2 for recreation, which is the summer soccer camp and baseball camps. Award of a contract for our animal control services, And finally, a resolution authorizing the transfer of title for a police vehicle. There is one ordinance, which is an ordinance to establish the municipal budget appropriation and establish to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limit and establish a cap bank, as you recall from my previous comments on this, and probably Bob's as well before me. This is a required ordinance that must be passed before the introduction and adopted before the adoption of the municipal budget. There are several motions, and then, as I said, there is the introduction of the municipal budget. And finally, there are 5 ordinances which are amending bond ordinances. These are no new debt, no new appropriations being authorized. These are just housekeeping ordinances to clean up the useful lives on existing ordinances. And then we have 2 fully funded ordinances where no new debt is authorized, but it does appropriate $711,000 from our capital improvement fund to fund the architectural and engineering services for the police department, and $65,000 for the engineering and design and inspection work related to the ADA compliant improvements at crosswalk locations on county roads, in anticipation of the county road program. And these costs that we expend are fully reimbursed by the county of Bergen. So this is really a grant. And that's all I have with regard to the agenda.
Thank you, Matt.
On some policy and some administrative items, as you can see, the town hall roof replacement program is well underway, almost getting towards completion. The scaffolding has been started to take down, especially on this side of the building, and I believe by the end of the week, most of the scaffolding will be down, if not all. Reminder that the League of Municipalities Lewis Bay II scholarship applications are due on March 7th. Currently, we've received 1 submission. This year's theme of the essay is What I Like About My Hometown. The DPW will complete 2 rounds of spring leaf collection, which will be passed through all the collection districts in order. Please place your leaves along the curb line in front of your property before April 7th and or April 14th. And the last day to place leaves curbside is April 13th. After this date, you must bring your leaves to the recycling center until our fall collection, which begins in October. Animal licensing for 2025 is ongoing, and a reminder to register your animals. Our rabies clinic here in Wyckoff is from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 15th. It is a drive-up clinic at our DPW, as we've done since COVID. And if you cannot make our rabies clinic, you can go to any rabies clinic in the state. And the ones in the surrounding towns and the ones serviced by Tyco Animal Control are listed on the Tyco website on their calendar. So if you go to our website, we'll link you to you can link to the Tyco website, and the dates are on there. The Environmental Commission will be hosting a composting event Saturday, March 22nd at Russell Farm. We'll be advertising for 3 clerical positions to fill some retirements and vacancies. We have a finance assistant in the finance department, an administrative assistant in the tax assessor's office, and a mechanic in the DPW. All of these will be full-time. Seasonal DPW help is also wanted. Flexible hours, 20 to 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. Apply online at wyckoffnj.gov. Please do so by May 1st. And just a reminder that the JIF cybersecurity training is due by March 30th. That's it.
Thank you, Matt. Township committee reports. Mayor, you okay to start?
Yeah, I could start.
Thank you.
I'm going to report on the Environmental Commission meeting on, we met on February 24th. Some members of the committee, including myself, will be visiting our town's recycling vendor, is it Gita in Passaic, to take a tour. That'll be on March 10th. On March 26th, the Environmental Commission will be hosting an educational presentation regarding recycling to increase awareness of the public of all the different types of materials Wyckoff recycles at 7 p.m. at Wyckoff Library. We will be educating the public on the Green Team initiatives and hope to educate and gain resident interest in areas of solar energy and recycling. This event is purely educational. The Environmental Commission will be hosting a compost workshop on Saturday, March 22nd at Russell Farms Community Park. On April 25th is is Arbor Day at Lincoln School. And on May 31st, Wyckoff Day at YMCA.
When was it Arbor Day? At
I'm
Lincoln
sorry?
School? When was Lincoln School Arbor Day? celebrated?
April 25th.
Are they doing a tree or?
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
We didn't discuss details on that. Just a fun fact for Wyckoff tree recycling collection for 2024 was 1,451 trees, which I thought was a lot of trees, but they were mulched. I wanted to share how nice it was to participate at the Ramadan celebration of the moonlighting ceremony they had last Wednesday here in front of Town Hall. There was a large, diverse crowd of family and friends celebrating the start of their fast and time of gift giving and philanthropy. It was also very impressive to see the children that, read passages and shared their experience of their holiday of Ramadan. It was nice that Wyckoff promotes and supports cultural awareness and diversity in Wyckoff, so it was a very nice ceremony. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, May. Roger?
Okay. Under the Historic Preservation Committee, if you go by the brownstone, you'll see that brand-new hardy plank is being put on the building, and it's really a beautiful color. It really is going to look nice once it's completed, especially with the centennial coming up and that being one of the oldest buildings in town, if not the oldest. Rudy, you can confirm that, right? So that's a nice thing that's happening. I attended the Ramapo Indian Hills School Board meeting last night. The only news to report there is that they're in search of a new attorney. So for all you aspiring lawyers out there, you might want to apply. Next Shade Tree Commission meeting is March 18th. I too attended the Ramadan ceremony, and it was very nice to be there with members of the community that celebrate that. Centennial, Pete's going to report on that committee. Department of Public Works, we want to thank them for a great job, and hopefully there is no more white stuff that falls from the sky. And as Matt mentioned, be prepared for the spring leaf collection. Dates to remember, April 7th and April 13th have leaves out prior to that, and they also are looking for seasonal help coming up. Then under the fire commissioner's report, bear with me. The department responded to 44 calls for service in February and a total of 117 calls year to date. That range from building fires, cooking fires, motor vehicle accidents, motor vehicle fires, hazmat spills, CO alarms, and fire alarms. We received mutual aid 2 times during the month for a house fire in town and a large gas leak in town. The house fire was Franklin Lakes, Midland Park Engine and Waldwick Tower Ladder and Mawa Fast Company, and Wyckoff received coverage for that. They got the gas leak in Midland Park under control with Franklin Lakes and also the Waldwick Tower Ladder. We received automatic aid once for high life hazard buildings in town. Mutual aid was from Franklin Lakes for that particular scenario. The department provided mutual aid for 1 structure fire in neighboring communities. Franklin Lakes had a house fire and Engine 235 responded, and 2 responses in Patterson with Rescue 2 to cover. We also responded to automatic aid call for life hazard buildings in bordering communities. Tower Ladder 241 responded. The training this past Monday night was focused on electric vehicles and what happens when they go on fire, and it's quite a hazardous situation. Lastly, the year-to-date personnel hours as of February 28th, the Wyckoff Fire Department logged 3,524.57 personnel hours for calls, meetings, and training. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Roger. Tom?
Okay, a few things. I attended the seniors meetings 2 weeks ago. They had 45 seniors there. They're doing a lot of good things. They're enjoying themselves, and it was a good meeting. I also attended the rehearsal last week for the upcoming Flow Follies, which is this weekend. So it's Friday night, Saturday night, 7:30 p.m., Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. All performances this year at Indian Hills. They go back and forth each year, so we wish them all the best. Pete and I had our 5th and final budget meeting, and we're going to be introducing the budget this evening. I also had a 2026 Centennial Calendar meeting, very productive, and we continue to have those every other week. Last Friday, along with the mayor and Nancy Brown, our clerk, we attended Cub Scout Troop number 110. They had a meeting at the Reformed Church, and the discussion was on, it was a great group of kids. They were all, I think they were 4th graders. They were like 9 and 10 years old. The discussion was on Wyckoff government, and special thanks to Nancy, as I mentioned, not only for putting it all together, but for being there, and I think the kids enjoyed it.
It was a great.
It was
great
very
evening.
impressive.
It really
It
was.
Really nice. We invited them to join us at any of our meetings to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so we hope to see them. Then, also, last week, the Wyckoff Miller Park Rotary meeting, we had addressed the annual address by the mayor of Wyckoff. Rudy Boonster was there, along with Pete Malchione and myself. Really good meeting. Had a good crowd, lots going on. Rudy was able to update them on many things going on in town. It just helps engage them more and more. And the last thing is I, too, attended the Ramadan celebration last Wednesday. That's all I have.
Mayor, Tom, just one thing, you may pique my interest, at the Round Indian Hills School Board meeting on Flow Follies, since they started it, it's raised over $800,000. So it's a tremendous benefit for the district,
It
so.
is. To the kids.
And it's fun. It's fun to be in.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Pete?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Along with the rest of the Township Committee, I attended the Ramadan ceremony outside of Town Hall. It was another great tradition, and it was another great ceremony this year. As Tom mentioned, I was at the Rotary meeting last week with the annual mayor's address, and Rudy did a great job updating the Rotary about different things going around town, especially some affordable housing issues that a lot of towns around here are facing. The Centennial Committee met. We had our 2nd meeting. We have 2 save the dates, and we'll have some email blasts going out. We have our gala set for March 21st, 2026, and our Centennial Day, June 27, 2026. And as the year goes on, there'll be more and more details to follow. It's a lot of planning, so we're starting nice and early. One of my favorite meetings is next week, and that's the start of the Memorial Day Parade Committee. So we're looking to kick that off Wednesday. It's always a great tradition and great honor to be part of that here in Wyckoff. And as Tom mentioned, we're introducing the budget tonight. There'll be more details to follow the next meeting. But I just want to make a comment. Budget Committee, along with Matt and Diane and Fran, worked really hard on it. And 2 things that we're always really proud of here in Wyckoff is our commitment to public safety and infrastructure for our residents of Wyckoff. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Pete. On February 19th, I attended the library board meeting. The library, except for the mayor's spot, the library board is the same as it was in 2024. Tony Donato was the president. It was a pretty routine meeting. The only thing that was noteworthy, actually, the library continues to do a great job. Circulation's up, visits are up, and it's just a well-run. Laura does a great job there. They have providers who, I guess, provide non-print media programs for the library members and children. And one of them is a company called Hoopla, and there's things getting into their providing, the materials they provide that kind of shouldn't be there. They think it's done by AI. And Laura picked it up right away, and she's monitoring it to make sure that nothing inappropriate comes into our library, which I thought was pretty good that she picked up on that right away. So kudos again to the library board. On the 26th, I too attended the crescent lighting for the Ramadan celebration, and it was a good event. The weather was good, a little chilly, but the weather was good. And the best part was all the youngsters who gave a little talk and participated in the program. And the baklava was really good too. That I took home, really good. So, as mentioned earlier, I attended the Rotary meeting on the 27th, and it was a good meeting. A lot of good questions. It actually went over time a little bit because everyone was so engaged. So it really was a good meeting. I thank Tom for inviting me, and Pete for attending as well. And I think it was a good morning. Also on the 27th, I officiated at a wedding here, and it was very nice. Weddings are always great. As I always say, the best parts of this job are weddings, ribbon cuttings, and Boy Scout Courts of Honor, or Eagle Scout Courts of Honor. So that was nice. That was fun. I too attended the Flo Follies rehearsal that same night, and I mean, if anyone is looking for something to have a little fun next year or the year after, they're looking for elected officials to participate in Flo Follies, and it's really good time. It's really good time. And as Tom said, it's Thursday and Friday evening up at Indian Hills High School.
Friday and Saturday evening.
I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday. Evenings up at Indian Hills High School and a Sunday matinee. I too attended the meeting at the Reformed Church with the members of Cub Scout Pack 110. And it was a fun evening. I really want to thank Tom and Nancy for being there. I think we put on a pretty good show, and there were a lot of good questions. So what are they, fourth graders? And they had a lot of really good questions. Really good questions. That morning, I attended a meeting at Blum Court with, who was there? Matt was there, Roger was there, Traffic Officer Zivkovich was there, Joe Vanderplaat was there. I think I covered them right. And there's a little issue developed on, Blum Court runs off of Cedar Hill Ave between the Cedar Hill the Cedar Hill Shopping Center and the medical building. And an unintended consequence of the light at the corner of Cedar Hill Ave is that cars going straight into the Christian Health campus stack down Cedar Hill Ave and kind of block the exit ramp from the medical building, especially if you want to make a left. So the employees and patients have taken to using Blum Court as an exit, which is usually just an entrance. And we had to look into some traffic control on Blum Court just to make, and a few other things. And the landlord of the medical building is going to work with us just to make everything a little safer until we have a chance to look at the whole area, which will come with there's a big application coming to the planning board soon, probably this month, and will include a general look at all the traffic and everything with that. Saturday morning, I attended Northwest Bergen Mayor's meeting. It was pretty well attended. Matt came along too with me. The administrators were there, and I appreciate that, Matt, very much. And the agenda items were overpopulation of deer, no surprise. The possibility or not, and pros and cons of going with the county dispatch service, which we have been with for 10 years, and discussions around 4 of affordable housing, which is a hot topic these days as well. It was a good meeting. That also went over time as well. It was nice to have the administrators there. That's an angle of knowledge that the mayors alone just don't have, and it was really good. So I really appreciate Matt being there on a Saturday morning. I want to thank the Budget Committee for all the work they put in on the budget, which we'll introduce tonight. And I also want to once again mention that we too are caught up, along with all municipalities, in round 4 of the affordable housing for New Jersey. And it's going to be challenging, round 4, and I think we're pretty well equipped for it. And I just want everyone in Wyckoff to know that we'll do our best to protect Wyckoff and protect our property values and the small town charm that we still have here in Wyckoff. So, and final comment. I've been to, in the last 2 weeks, 3 or 4 political events. And I get so many comments positive comments about Wyckoff. Now, granted, there are people from my side of the aisle, okay? So it's a little easier, but it's been noticeable how many positive comments about the way the town looks, the way the town is run, the charm we have here in Wyckoff. And I just want to thank everyone. It's a group effort. My colleagues, everyone on town hall staff, Matt, Nancy, and everyone. So I just want to mention that. And it's like kind of neat to have that. So I really appreciate everyone. And that's all I have. So, do we need a motion for a private session tonight? Oh, Dave, I'm sorry, Dave.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to follow up on the affordable housing, which obviously is a hot button item. You may recall at our last meeting, I mentioned we hadn't had any challenges yet to the proposed number that we put forward of 277, but I said, don't expect that will last. So anybody that wanted to object could file their answer, a complaint, challenge, whatever you want to call it, by last Friday. And we did get 2. The New Jersey Builders Association, through their attorneys, filed, and they proposed a number. I'll just sum it up. I won't go through all the details of their proposal, of a number of 387, which was basically the same as the DCA put back in the fall. Then very late on Friday, Fair Share Housing did their challenge, and they're proposing a number of 393 for Wyckoff. Right now, the program will come up with a number by the end of this month. They could take our number, they could take one of those numbers, they could take something in between. Your guess is as good as mine where they're going to end up. It's a little frustrating because everybody did their work to come up with numbers, and then all of a sudden you're going to have the program deciding on a number that we're going to have to deal with when we put together our housing plan, which will have to be put together by the end of June. So I'll keep you informed. I have spoken to Beth McManus, our planner, on this. There's really not much more we can do until that number comes out, because they have our information, her report, they've got the other reports, and there's really nothing to do until the program comes out with a number. So, but I'll keep everybody informed with that. And obviously, as the mayor mentioned, we're ready to deal with it, but we obviously are still involved in the litigation. And we're going to keep pushing that forward. There isn't really a new update, except that we're still exploring the idea of filing a federal claim, but that hasn't happened yet. But I'll keep you informed on that as well. So, thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Was that a yes on the C3?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adopt Resolution 25C3 to enter a closed session.
Second. I move that. Sorry.
Second.
Ms. Bogdansky?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
And Mayor Boonstra?
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you.